Okay, so today's talk is on the ancestry and working with our ancestors. Um, so when we talk about ancestors, we don't necessarily mean only the humans before us, but it can be anything. It can be the plants that are in our garden. It can be the mountains, the sky above our head. Today's talk and meditation is inspired by Joanna Macy's work, The Work That Reconnects, which is very close to my heart. And it's a work that I have felt home in, and I certainly recommend. So she talks about the spiral. The spiral is an exercise that she uses that has different stages. And that each spiral, each stage is leading us to deeper inner transformation so that we can ripple and take that forward into the world. We're not going to cover in all the stages today, but we will touch on the gratitude first. So the first one is the gratitude. And in the meditation, in the talk, we'll talk about what we mean by gratitude. Secondly is honoring the pain of our world and honoring the pain of our ancestors. The third one is seeing life through new eyes. And the fourth one is going forward. What are we here to do in this planet? What are we here to do in this life? So she has a saying that I'd love to read out that says that this world in which we're born and take our being is alive, and it is our larger body. And this is something that has been revealed to me to be so true in my life, in my experiences. If we take the leap of faith, because it feels like it's a leap of faith, to converse with the universe speaks back, our ancestors speak back, life becomes alive and intimate in any given moment. So as we're walking this path of life, we are walking on the shoulders of our ancestors. And I find personally this perspective and direct experience is really helping me to really viscerally feel that I am connected with a web of life vaster than me, well beyond little Maria. And it feels right to say that where we are in society at the moment, with so much hurt and so much war and so much ecological damage, at the same time there is movement for a greater transformation that is happening. When I was a child, I guess I was given this message by ancestors, and you may have different beliefs in that, which is fine. And so take it or leave it. If it doesn't fit, if it doesn't suit you, Carla, just leave it. But I was given this message, and I can't remember how old I was, that in my time, in my lifespan, I will live in special times. I will live in specific times and shifts of consciousness. I didn't have any understanding cognitively what that meant at the time. But I would like to feel and believe that this was perhaps from that angle, my ancestors coming forward. And ancestors reach back, like it can reach back into the deep time. It could be thousands of years ago. It doesn't have to be even biologically connected. On some level, we are connected with the whole world. And I don't think they're separate from our intuition. So this is just different labels that we use to conceptualize and understand as we're walking consciously this path of awakening. And it can offer us comfort and solace and support to know that we're not on our own. And the whole ancestry work is a huge window that even myself, I'm only just stepping into, although I have had quite a lot of visitations, let's put it that way, from ancestors, women in my dreams for many, many, many years, spontaneous and I guess uninvited for me, but invited from a soul on a soul level. And the more we open to them, the guidance, and they're showing up in quite miraculous ways. And it also is a subject that can feel quite scary for the mind. The ego mind wants to feel in control, right? Wants to feel that we know where we're stepping next. So it gets scared and it gets fear, but that's also part of the process. And then, of course, we know from a psychological perspective, as you probably know yourself, and from an intergenerational healing perspective, that the healing that can come in a family, it only arrives when somebody is ready to feel the pain that hasn't been felt. So this is from epigenetics, and I think there's more and more research. This sentence 5 years ago, perhaps if not 10, would have been laughed at. I think Carl Jung also said that. But there's more research and it's gaining more momentum. So clearly, the shift from the rational left part of our brain that thinks it knows is being shaken. And so it should. So, yeah, that's the little talk about today I wanted to say. And so today, in the meditation we're going to anchor in gratitude. Because the very first step is having an open intention, even if there is still a lot of mind that doubts and that says, this cannot exist. That's fine. The mind can be there. It quietens down in time. The more we keep opening up and keep returning to that muscle, trust, because it is a muscle. Because we've been conditioned to not trust and to not blindly trust what's coming up. And also the power of imagination is really, really important in this type of work. For a good while, and I am the queen of doubt. I am the queen of doubt. There's moments that were, incidents that were happening, and I kept doubting, and I kept doubting. And spirit works in such amazing ways that if you're open, even if you have the most dense doubt that like I've had, and I still shed it, they show up. It shows up in ways that are incomprehensible to the mind. And this is the mystery. This is the mystery that they're inviting us to free fall. This is the mystery of life and earth and ancestors and the silent nations around us. They're not separate to who we are at our core. So from this perspective, every day is a spiral. Every day is a walk into the mystery. And we know that at soul level. But on a mind level, we want to fight it, to make excuses, or we're meant to make up ideas about how things should be. Because it's actually really scary to just be for the human. So we're not going to have massive entering into the ancestor to sort of invoke them in a way, but we're going to be rooted in the heart in the meditation, and simply connect with our gratitude for them. Maybe bring one in mind that comes to mind as the warrior ancestor, and really listen to the gifts they have for you. There is a very common tendency working with ancestral wisdom, and I fell into that trap myself for a while, which is that they are suffering and that we are here to set them free. Now, as a psychotherapist by background, and as a child in my family of origin where I became the emotional rescuer, hello psychotherapists, I fell in the same trap in the spiritual realm as I was going through my spiritual path. And then I realized I was taking again the role of the rescuer in some way, taking up a lot of emotional responsibility. I mean, can you imagine the burden and the baggage that that would give me? So we need to be really here, really bounded before we begin some proper work with ancestors. But essentially, they are here to guide us. They don't need anything from us. They are here to shine the light of intuition and to share their gifts. And it's been very humbling to have these pieces of puzzle falling in together. This is what I've inherited. This is what my grandmom is gifting me. It makes sense. So the insights and the gifts, this is part of my passion about ancestors, that they have gifts for us that we unravel through the journey. And it almost feels like that they're gifts falling on our lap. So as an example from my journey, for example, I began having this compelling energy to weave things, to create communities, to be the bridge maker in different things. And of course my mind was, the active mind, the doubt would come in often and say, oh, is this what I really am here to do? What's going on? I can't help but this is the energy that's moving me. And it became clear in time that of course I would, because my mom's mother was a seamstress, the first seamstress in the village. And my aunties and my dad's mother was also a loomer, like she had looms. We had looms in Crete. So they were weavers. So it allows us to put things in perspective, and it allows working with ancestors in that conscious way for the rational, doubtful mind, analytical mind to sort of rest back in the lap in the heart of knowing and trust. So we're going to anchor in our bodies to arrive the place we never leave, in the here and now, and connect with our gratitude. And after the meditation, we're going to do some sharing. Carla, I hope that's okay with you. So wherever you are in the world, wherever you are in your house, find, first of all, a comfortable place. Make sure that you're very comfortable in your body. And take a couple of mindful breaths so that you arrive here. We all talk about that notion and how actually we embody it. Or if there is mind active, that's okay. That can also be observed here from this place. Allow your attention to fall on your feet to begin with. And shift the attention and the contact of your feet with the ground if you're sat on a chair. This is your contact with earth. Every moment in your day, you are held without any of your thinking. Mother Earth is holding you. Life's got your back. So let that sink in. let the gravity of your body to just rest here. Any restless energy, any flight energy that might be present, it's so welcome. Or free falling in the ground of unconditional love that doesn't reject anything. The feet are still held from the ground. Or feel the rest of your body, your hips, your waist, earth. Your hips are earth. Flesh is earth. You are not separate. And in that soil of your body, your heart is beating effortlessly. Not much thinking or to-do list there, just simply being. Now I want you to imagine that the connection you have in this moment is not a connection that is limited in the 3D lens of your world. It extends below and above you in infinite measure. For now, as we're descending slowly into this meditation, I want you to imagine that you have roots coming out of your feet, stretching at the core of this earth. And these roots are so steady and solid. They carry the weight of ancient wisdom before you and beyond you. Feel in the solidity of this knowing. Just simply by knowing that you are held in that depth. Notice how your body is matching. Is matching that trust. All is well in this moment, right here, right now. And that is a privilege for many of us, and so we're feeling in gratitude for that privilege too. Exactly where we are in the moment. To allow and give full permission to the power of your imagination for the next part of this meditation. And from this place of rooted presence, there is a golden thread. Start, you're holding a golden thread, and the golden thread is stretching again down your feet, reaching back in time. So as you're allowing your body to descend into the gravity of this exercise, your imagination gets lighter and lighter and freed to travel. Your soul is leading now. Travel wherever it needs to. You're always holding that golden thread. You may want to visualize yourself here that you're walking back in time whilst holding this thread out from the room. You might want to have little landmarks of years, feeling consciously the steps of your walking backwards. And the open heart intention here is to walk back in time and space and place in order to meet an ancestor. And here it might be biological ancestors, but it doesn't have to be what we call or class as human ancestor. It may be you're taken to a mountain or a river or the sea. Just trust blindly. And wherever you're taken is exactly where you need to be taken. As you're following this golden thread back in time, you're doing that with an open mind, no rushing for a result. If nothing comes, that is fine too. We're not here to rush time, but we're here to take reverie in the timelessness of ourself, of our core essence, where we're opening inwardly into the mystery of us. So be patient with yourself. And you might want to take yourself through your intuition into the house of your grandparents, for example. Just notice where you are led, whilst you're always holding the golden thread, which is the connection to your heart space. Maybe a few more minutes for the encounter to arrive. Maybe some ancestor arrived not in a kind of image form, but in a kind of thought form. Or maybe they just popped into your head. Just simply trust and follow the sugar trail. Or maybe you remembered this uncle all of a sudden that you've heard the family talk about. Or you're taken to a river or a mountain. The intention as you're journeying to meet an ancestor is always from a place of wanting to feel the gratitude in your heart for them and listening what is the message, the gift they want to give you? What is the lesson that they're here to teach you? If at any point in this exercise there is fret and restlessness and a lot of fear coming in, you can stop the exercise. You are always in control in how you want to proceed. Remain in the witness place. And when, if, I assume, maybe, some contact has been made, but you may not be sure, could be curious, you can still walk into this with a good intention, an open heart, and enough curiosity to stay in that curious place. And as you're bringing this ancestor into your mind, or you may have a sense of an image, first of all, acknowledge simply in your heart the trajectory of the connection between you and them. If it's a human, take a moment to pause and, in your heart, deeply appreciate how many lines of ancestry are behind them, even up to the point that you two connected. And the ways through which they're connected to you in your life. And that often brings a sense of awe of how often we forget that there is an infinite stretch of a web of interconnectedness between us and those behind us. We're literally standing on their shoulders. As I said in the talk earlier, us in the mountains, we're here, studentship, apprentices, at their feet. If we let it, if we let us. So take a moment to feel and let that gratitude, that sense of thank you. Thank you for showing the way. You might not be clear about what it means, and that's fine at this stage, but thank you. And gratitude is a place, it's not a place, it's a visceral, whole body knowing that is devoid of any judgment or value or logical analysis. To me, it's a breaking open moment. So can you allow yourself to break up a little bit more at this recognition? Where do you feel this gratitude in your body? Where does it express? Is it your heart? Is it your belly area, your gut, your knowing? Let your body for a moment rest in that gratitude. The reverie of gratitude. You can strengthen that with a lot of deep conscious breathing. A place of yes. Recognition is a very important step, that very first step. The recognition, the gratitude. It's a crucial, necessary first step. So as you're letting gratitude almost anoint all parts in you and baptize you in that perfume of deep, deep knowing of okayness. You are held so deeply, so deeply by so many ancestors and life itself. So you're letting that honey of gratitude sip deeper and deeper into your whole body mind. You at the same time are opening up now to receive maybe a message from your ancestor or a gift they want to let on your lap, or a teaching, maybe a teaching in here for you. You're in here for a reason, you're watching this for a reason. The sun doesn't have to think things second time. It shines up in the sky, the moon the same, nature blossoms. There is patterns and rhythms, an innate trust in growth that surrounds us. We are not different from that. So open up like a bud in the sunshine, like a flower blossoming. And simply the way we ask for the teaching or the gift is very simple, yet quite challenging if you have an active mind. Like an inward opening. What is the message? What is the teaching here for me that will serve me in my life, that will serve me in this moment of time? What is the teaching here for me? What is the message for me and my life at this moment? maybe a gift that they are associated with, or maybe that they didn't fulfill and they want to pass down to you so that you extend that gift and you embody it deeper for the service in the world. What is it that they want to communicate for future generations after you? Stay quiet and wait. And it is enough. Even if nothing comes, that's absolutely fine. But what is enough is that you're making that first step, that initial contact, that opening to orient to life, which is our ancestors, from this open hearted place. You can't force anything in ancestors' work, it doesn't work. So if nothing shows up, then trust this is not the time, maybe. But if the spark in you keeps niggling you, then keep returning. Trust it. What do they long for you to hear? I said long, but they are very patient too. They're always there for you to turn to for guidance or support or listening through the silent whisper, the silent voice within you. Remember, you're always holding that golden thread close into your heart as you're very slowly beginning to bring the encounter, the conversation to a pause, to a close. But before you do that, take a moment to thank your body, to thank whatever has shown up, in whichever way it has shown up. There's always a gift in whatever shows up. Maybe put your hands in your heart as a namaste. Thank you. Thank you for whatever is shown up, even if I don't understand the thing, even if I think that nothing happened. Thank you for whatever has shown up. Find a way to say goodbye to your meeting and thanking them too for whatever they shared or shown to you. So you're returning to your golden thread that you're holding close to your chest, and you might want to put your hand in your heart so that you feel your body again, and you feel your heart beating, and you're imagining yourself walking back in time, back from the thresholds or marks of time, if you had any, back through the back door of your house, into the house that you are now, the place where you are, into the sofa or the chair or the bed you sat on, and back into this space with me, with this voice, on the 30th of July 2024 at 21:21 time. Arriving back into your body, again with gratitude and a thanks for the journey you've been on. And if you feel called to do an intention about remaining open for that contact, you can do. You don't have to. Simply a thanks and a recentering back into your body is enough to bring you back here. So we're going to move into some sharing in a minute, but if you're watching this meditation in your own time and you took the time, I want to thank you for doing that. I want to thank my ancestors and my guides for being here with me, with us, assisting with this journey. And thank you for listening. I'm going to stop the recording now.